I'm so happy that you're here. Today I decided to do something completely different for a meal plan video. For just $15, I'm going to share with you 3 meals that I made today and hopefully help you guys out if you're looking for some budget-friendly recipes to make in your own kitchen. So what I did differently today is I actually ordered from Amazon freshly. I've never done this before when it comes to doing a meal plan. I've ordered a few things here or there, but never like a full load of groceries. And today I thought, no, I don't want to take the time to go to the store. My time is valuable. So I jumped on the Amazon app, and actually I'm always really surprised when I add a few things to my cart how inexpensive things are. I even went the extra mile and I compared the prices in the Amazon app to the store that I normally shop at. It was cheaper by like $4. Plus free delivery. So if I would have ordered from my normal grocery store, I'd have to pay for delivery, but I saved $4 and I got free delivery. So if you have Amazon freshly near you, I recommend giving it a try because maybe you'll find some good deals like I did. Anyways, I hope to share with you some easy meal ideas that are low budget that you can make in your own kitchen, like I said, because if you are someone who's looking to save money on groceries, this is how you do it. You do little increments of meal plans. Add them all up throughout the week. Use the ingredients you have on hand. Don't worry about overstocking and spending $600, $700, $800 in groceries now to stock up, because that's not real life, okay? Many of us, myself included, I'm not a prepper. I'm not gonna have an entire room of food and buy everything now and then eat through it, because that's not realistic for most of us. Most of us don't have that type of money to go out and buy all the groceries. So these types of meal plans I feel like are more effective and more helpful than loading up your spare bedroom with shelves and canned goods. No offense, but I think that's ridiculous. Anyways, hopefully I didn't offend you if that's who you are. I'm just making a joke. Everyone does what's best for themselves, but if we're being really honest, the reality is most of us who are looking to save money on groceries aren't taking that option because either A, we don't have that expendable income, or B, we just aren't that person mentally. Personally, I might have the income for it, but I don't want to stock up on all that food. That's exhausting to me, and it's in reverse of how I normally meal plan. I meal plan in small increments, maybe a week or two at a time, and I do these types of meal plans to save myself money. So let's go save you some money and get into today's recipes. First, I'll share with you the ingredients, my little order, and then we're gonna get cooking. If you have not already, I need you to do me a huge favor. Actually, I need you to do 2 huge favors. I need you to hit that thumbs up button and pause the video right now and comment down below and let me know the amount of money you want me to spend in my next meal plan, and give me a main ingredient. I'd love to hear from you. So I love to do a main ingredient, and I love to plan around a specific amount of food. For example, I take a very little ingredients and I make multiple recipes with them because it gives me a lot of ideas. It makes me be really creative, and then I can share these ideas with you guys. Because when it comes to saving money and being super frugal and budget friendly, if you can figure out how to create recipes using the same ingredients over and over and over and not get bored, it's magical. I've been doing this for almost 3 years. We decided to go on a debt-free journey in 2020. In case you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. I like to give my background story every so often in case someone's new. And I started creating budget-friendly recipes, and I still create them because I love saving money in my grocery budget. I might spend money other places in my house, but when it comes to saving money on groceries, there's just something to me about spending very little and still having access to healthy food. So here we are making a buffalo stuffed twice baked potato, if you will. I took about a fourth of the hummus, about a cup and a half of spinach, about a third of a cup of buffalo sauce, the can of chickpeas. I drained it but didn't rinse it. You can definitely rinse it if it gives you a bellyache. If you get bloated or gassy with beans, definitely rinse them. I find this to be creamier if I don't rinse them, and chickpeas never give me an issue, but it just kind of depends on the style of bean or your digestion. You don't have to use hummus for this if you don't want to. I know a lot of people that follow me are oil-free, but it just really adds a lot of flavor. You could definitely also make your own hummus as well. I have tons of recipes here on my channel with homemade hummus. If you need a recipe, you can also check out my blog down below, where you're gonna find the recipes for today's video. So I did pop these potatoes for the first bake in the microwave, but if you have leftover potatoes, that is the best double baked, twice baked. Why is it not double baked? I always think double baked, but it's twice baked. Cut it open, smash it down a little bit because I feel like it gets that nice mashed potato-y kind of vibe going on. And then I stuffed it with my buffalo insides. Ooh, so good. And then at the end, I baked it about maybe 20 minutes, 375. Then I put a little bit of the celery on the top. Those honorable mentions, the random carrots I had in my fridge, that one piece of celery, and literally you're gonna see I had like a teaspoon of mustard. So those items are not necessary, but if you have something hanging around the house and you need to use it up, use it up. If you don't have it, you can still make all of these meals. It's not a big deal. I like to mention that. Seasonings and little random bits and bobs that I have around the house, I don't include in the cost because I have them in my house. But as you can see, I only spent $14.71, so technically I had some money left over for those little honorable mentions. And hi, welcome to my kitchen. Behind the scenes, I'm always dancing because Google is always playing, and I'm obsessed with that new Meghan Trainor song. Let me know down below if you guys are too. I'll listen to it like 1,000 times in the next week, and then if I hear it after that, it'll feel like my ears are bleeding and I'm going to be nauseous and I never want to hear it again. But this stuffing, dip, buffalo, twice baked potato was phenomenal. I loved it. I actually am going to make it again as like a meal prep for probably the week after Thanksgiving. Super good. And it's gluten-free. So like I said, I just chopped a little bit of celery and put it on the top after it came out of the oven because I feel like it just needed it. And I had 2 pieces of celery on hand, so it worked out really well for me. Also, celery and hummus, that's the best. So I took the little bit of hummus that you'll see later on that was left in the dish and had the other piece of celery. So again, you don't have to put the celery on the top. If you don't like celery, if you don't like anything that's in this, you make it however you want to. These are just ideas that I use that I like to share because I try to be really helpful and try to put out content that works for me that might also work for you. In total, I think I made about 10 quote-unquote meals, but I do like to remind you, I don't tell you a portion size you should eat, how much you should eat, how little you should eat. You eat what you want to eat. But technically, I guess you could say it was 10-ish portions, which isn't bad for $15, but you might eat more or less than me, who knows? So let's move on. The next one's just a sheet pan meal. I was meal prepping today for the next few days of lunches for myself. So I could have it for lunch, for dinner, for breakfast, for snack. I just like having meals on hand so I can take them with me to lunch. And this really was just like a simple, easy, throw it on a sheet pan. The oven's already on. Let's get it going. Some tofu and some potatoes. And I used a little bit of the hummus, a little bit of water. If you have a pastry brush, that's the best way to apply this. I also used about 1/8 of a teaspoon of mustard because I didn't realize that was like gone when I put it in my refrigerator the last time I used it, probably because we had a party or something and I popped it in the refrigerator. But if you have a pastry brush, it's a much easier way to put this on your tofu. You can completely omit this altogether. I also don't press my tofu. I like it best like this. If you like it pressed, it'll get crunchier. You could also add some cornstarch and make it really crunchy. But this just adds a lot of flavor, and having the extra water does help cook the potatoes faster because it steams. But anyways, don't have to do it this way if you don't want to. This was really good because that flavor of the hummus really added so much flavor to the tofu, and I feel like tofu does need a lot of flavor. You can also add additional seasonings if you want to as well. And then I just chopped up some potatoes and roasted this in the oven. Surprise, surprise. Once my oven's on, I like to use it a lot. I have a couple extra sheet pans now, so I feel like I'm just rolling, getting all this done. And it's really nice to have all of this done within an hour, and then lunches are done for the week. And they're super cheap because I only spent $15. Recipe number 3. You know by now, if you've been around my channel, I always save the best for last. Let me know, what's your favorite potato? Mine's between a russet and a Hannah, which is like a white sweet potato. It's like a starchier sweet potato, but it's sweet. It's really, really good. So those carrots, again, you don't need them for this recipe, but I'm making like a mock cheese sauce, and I decided to throw them in because they were in my refrigerator and they are looking kind of ugly and they needed used up. So I popped them in. If you don't have them in your refrigerator, if you don't have them in your budget, don't worry about it. You can just boil the potatoes. It's going to add a nice starch to this dip. It's a spinach dip. Really, really delicious. Now, I will say the dip to potato ratio is perfect for me, but might need some more potatoes because we did have a lot of dip left over. I actually had this for lunch this day, and I had like 8/10 of the dip left over, but I'm not mad about it because I can use it for so many different things. A couple of questions I always get in the comments that I always notice is if I can do a low carb meal plan. Well, I always like to tell you I share what I eat in hopes that I can help you guys with ideas. And I don't eat a low carb diet. I eat a high carb, low fat diet. So if these don't work for you, just kind of play around, add what you need to make it work with your lifestyle, with your diet, with your needs. But I did add tofu because I do eat a lot of tofu. So this does kind of knock out the comments that I get a lot of times. People ask me to do a higher protein. So as beans, as hummus, as tofu. And I always like to remind people a medium-sized potato has 5 grams of protein. So if you're eating 3 potatoes at once, you got 15 grams of protein. You have some tofu on the side, some hummus. Just like that, you have 25 grams of protein in a meal. And you basically think in your mind, oh, this is all starch, this is all carbs. But you had 25 grams of protein. Okay, so did you see how much mustard was left in there? So little. So if you don't have a high-speed blender, that's okay. Any blender that you have will work. Just be cautious that you are putting something hot inside the blender. So if you do just have a regular blender, you might want to wait until the carrots and potato mix has cooled down. It will work just as fine, but you want to make sure that you cool it down because you don't want it to be an issue. Same with a food processor. You could definitely do it in the food processor, but you need to have it be cooled down. So just keep that in mind. I got this Vitamix as a birthday gift. I get a lot of questions on it. I don't even know which one it is, but if I can find it on Amazon, I'll link it down below. I love it. It is definitely an expense, but it is awesome. I use it all the time for everything because it's just one of those kitchen tools that I now feel like I can't live without, but I know it's not in everybody's budget. But they always go on sale for Black Friday. So, which I guess when you're watching it was yesterday, so maybe they're still on sale. Also, we were at our local Kroger Co. Smiths. I always call it Kroger. Our local Smiths, and they actually had them on clearance. It was like an older model. Anyways, this is delicious. I wanted to warm it up, make it really delicious. Again, $3.75 because that's what my oven was at. And I'm obsessed with like the thicker sea salt. What do you call this? I'm obsessed. I love putting on my potatoes. Really, really good. Like I said, the dip to potato ratio here was perfect for me because, like, you know, if you're a dipper, it's perfect. I had a lot of it left over. It was so good. If you're going to have a party or host something for the holidays, I highly recommend making this dip. Have it with tortilla chips. Maybe have it with homemade potato chips. Maybe just have it as like a, I don't know, an anything dip. It's really good, really creamy, really flavorful. And it's a holiday green. It's a Grinch green. Let's call it Grinch dip. Also, did you guys like the name for my potato dunkers? I thought that was pretty funny. I hope you laughed at that. Thank you so much. I tried something new there. It didn't really work. I might have had a little bit of caffeine before filming this. I'm so sorry. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate you being here. Please just give this video a huge thumbs up for my wonderful dancing skills. Actually, just erase that from your mind. I'm not a good dancer, but I like to move. Anyways, you should subscribe so you never miss a new video by me. I post a lot of budget-friendly and real-life content every single week, and I'm doing Vlogmas. So this is the last regular scheduled video that you're gonna see, and next week you're gonna get a ton of budget-friendly meals. I'm really hammering it down in December, January, and February to get a lot of meal ideas out there because it helps me with my own personal budget, and hopefully, like I keep saying, it helps you. So I'll see you next week in a new video. Hit that subscribe. Bye-bye.